Hi, good morning all of you. This is Vishweshwar, Botany Faculty, Chaitanya Gosala Campus, Vijayawada. Today our botany topic is plant kingdom, classification of plant kingdom and comparative account of all the divisions of the plant kingdom according to 5 kingdom classification proposed by scientist Whittaker. Okay, what are the main characteristic features or the basic characters of plant kingdom to place the members or plants under the plant kingdom? First of all, is to main criteria to place a member under the plant kingdom that must possess multicellular nature, eukaryotic structure, photosynthetic nature and presence of cell wall. Then only such kind of organisms placed under and treated as a member of plant kingdom. Okay. Earlierly, one more classification is there, that is the Eichler classification. According to Eichler classification, some members like, for example, you observe here, Chlorella, Chlamydomonas, nostoc is also placed under algae, placed under Plantae. But according to the 5 classification proposed by the Whittaker, all these organisms like especially Chlorella, Chlamydomonas and nostoc are removed out from Plantae because a separate kingdom is allotted for unicellular eukaryotic organisms, that is the Protista. For example, Chlorella is unicellular, Chlamydomonas is also unicellular, nostoc is also unicellular. The Chlorella, Chlamydomonas are removed out from Plantae and placed under a separate kingdom, that is the Protista. And one more thing, nostoc is there, it is also unicellular, photosynthetic structure. But due to the prokaryotic nature, it is removed out from Plantae and placed under Monera kingdom. Okay, before the announcement of this 5 kingdom classification, all these are the members of the Plantae. Okay, to follow this kind of rules, these are the removed out and placed under separate groups like one is the Protista, another one is the Monera. Among these 4 options, here only Spirogyra is present in Plantae because it can satisfy all these criteria like multicellular nature and photosynthetic nature and presence of cell wall. It is the reason to place under Plantae. Okay. For example, here one question is there, read, identify the members of Plantae according to 5 kingdom classification. First option Chlorella, second Chlamydomonas, third nostoc, fourth one Spirogyra. If the right answer is D alone is correct. Chlorella is not a member of the Plantae because unicellular. Due to the presence of unicellular nature, it is placed under Protista. Chlamydomonas is also unicellular. Nostoc unicellular and prokaryotic structure. That's why it is placed under especially a special kingdom, that is a Monera. Only Spirogyra is an example for member of Plantae. That's why the right answer is the D alone, Spirogyra. Okay. And one more important thing, in this entire topic plant kingdom, overall content is very lesser. But for the NEET aspirants, more weightage is there. And I will explain in this class about the critical areas of this plant kingdom. Especially in terms of the comparative accounts, how to read or study presence and absence of the embryo, archegonias, vascular tissues, seeds, fruits and independent phases, dominant phases, sporophytic phase characters and life cycles. Basically, entire this plant kingdom mainly classified into 2 sub-kingdoms based on presence and absence of the seeds. Earlier groups like primitive groups of the plant kingdom are unable to produce seeds, hence such are placed under non-spermatophyta. Seed producing plants are called as the spermatophyta. Seed producing plants are spermatophyta. Among the non-spermatophytes, 3 divisions are there, algae, bryo, pteridophyta. Whereas in spermatophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms. Among these 5, first 3 are seedless plants, remaining 2 are seed producing plants. It is the basic classification. Okay. Spermatophyta means seed producing plants. Phyta, group of plants. Spermato, seeds or seed producing nature. And follow them and observe what kind of these structures are present in all these 5 groups. First one, embryo. Embryo formation is absent in algae, present in bryo, pterido, gymno, angio. Except algae, remaining all the groups embryo formation is there. Based on presence and absence of embryo, plant kingdom divided into 2 sub-kingdoms such as non-embryophyta, embryophyta. Algae is example for non-embryophytes, remaining all are bryo, pterido, gymno, angios are example for embryophytes. Next, archegonia. Archegonia is a kind of multicellular female sex organs or female gametangia found in some plant groups. For example, algae. Female gametangias are there unicellular. Such unicellular female gametangias are never termed as archegonia. First archegoniatic members are bryophytes. The plant groups which possess archegonia as a female sex organs, which are called archegoniates. If the archegoniates are absent, that are called non-archegoniates. It is one more classification. Based on presence and absence of archegonia, plant kingdom classified into two separate groups. One is a non-archegoniata, another one is archegoniata. Algae is an example for non-archegoniates because archegoniates are absent. But archegoniates are present in bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperms. But in angiosperms, archegoniates are absent. Hence, we can say both first group algae and advanced group angiosperms both are example for non-archegoniates. Remaining three are example for archegoniates. Okay. Next one more kind of classification based on presence and absence of vascular tissues. Again, the plant can be divided into two categories. If the vascular tissues are absent, such are called non-tracheophytes. If the vascular tissues are present, that are called tracheophytes. For example, algae. Vascular tissues absent, that's why it is one of the member of non-archegoniata. Bryophyte also non-archegoniates. Remaining three members are tracheophytes. Atracheophyta, because in these two groups like algae, bryophytes, vascular tissues are absent. That's why these are atracheophytes. Remaining three, pteridophyte, gymnosperms, angiosperms, vascular tissues are there. Due to the presence of vascular tissues, these three members, three divisions, pterido, gymno, angio, together called tracheophytic members. Next, seeds. Among these five groups, seed producing ability is found in both gymno and angio only. Remaining three groups, pterido, bryo, algae are unable to produce seeds. Already you learn about this classification of plant kingdom based on presence of seeds and absence of seeds at earlier class. Next, fruits, except angiosperms. Remaining all the members, there is no ability to produce fruits. To form fruit, ovary must be present. Presence of ovary is the character of angiosperms only. That after fertilization, that ovary ripen or become as fruit. So, except angiosperms, remaining all the members, fruits absent. But gymnosperms are special. Without fruit, seed formation occurs in gymnosperm. It is one of the unique feature. Fruitless seed producing plants are gymnosperms. Whereas in angiosperms, both seed production and fruit production occurs. Reason, seeds develop inside of the ovary. Due to the presence of ovary, it is an example for fruit producing plants. Presence of ovules along with the ovary, seeds also produce inside of the fruit. Next comparison about the independent phases. Generally in life cycle, mainly two phases occurs. In life cycle of most of the plants, haploid phase the gametophyte, diploid phase the sporophyte. That haploid gametophyte, why these kind of phases are named them as gameto and sporo? Example, it is the life cycle of a plant. That may be either algae, bryo, or pterido, gymno, angio. In the two phases are there, one is the diploid sporophyte, another one is the haploid gametophyte. Sporophyte means spore producing phase is the sporophyte. Haploid phase is the gametophyte. Why it is called as gametophyte? It is able to produce gametes. Gamete producing phase is the gametophyte. Gamete formation is the main idea of gametophyte through their gametangia. Likewise, why this is the phase, another phase, diploid phase is called as the sporophyte, that is able to produce spores from the sporangia of the sporophyte. In these two phases, in some members, diploid sporophyte is the dominant independent photosynthetic. In other members of the plant kingdom, haploid phase, gametophyte is the dominant or independent or photosynthetic. This kind of comparison is required here to answer the several types of questions. Listen, independent phases in algae. What is the first division here? Algae is there. In that independent phase, gametophyte. And the dominant phase is also gametophyte. Gametophyte is the main plant body. Gametophyte is the main plant body, that is the photosynthetic, that's why that is independent and dominant. Coming to the bryophyta. Same story here also. In bryophyte also, gametophyte is independent and dominant phase in life cycle. Next, coming to pteridophytes. In pteridophytes, both gametophytes and sporophyte, G for gametophyte, S for sporophyte, both are independent. But dominant phase is sporophyte. It is a different thing here. Two phases are independent, but in terms of the adaptable to the terrestrial areas, in terms of their lifespan and size also, sporophyte is the more dominant over the short-lived gametophytic phase in pteridophytes. It is one of the unique character of pteridophytes. Both the phases are independent, not dependent on another. Both are able to perform photosynthesis to prepare their own food materials. Next, coming to gymnosperms, sporophyte. The angiosperms also, sporophytes are independent as well as dominant in their life cycle. Observe here, in course of evolution, gradually the independent gametophytes evolved into independent sporophyte. In the beginning of the classification or the beginning of the evolution of the plant kingdom, gametophytes are independent. Gradually such a transition into independent sporophyte. Next, coming to the sporophytic characters. Comparative account of the sporophytes in these 4 divisions. Comparative account of sporophytic characters in 4 divisions. Highly reduced sporophytes are found in algae. Highly reduced. Confined to only one single cell zygote, entire life cycle of the algae, the sporophyte restricted to only one cell, single cell, that is a zygote. In bryophyte, here also slightly reduced and dependent sporophyte is there. The sporophyte consisting of 3 parts, basal foot, middle setae, terminal capsule, but slightly developed when compared to the algae. Identify once again what is the difference between sporophyte of the algae to the sporophyte of the bryophytes. Single celled or unicellular sporophyte found in algae that develops into multicellular and differentiable into 3 structures: food, seta, capsule. Coming to pteridophytes, very well developed and dominant and independent sporophyte is found in pteridophyta members. First, true plant body and vascular tissue contain plant body, well adapted to terrestrial area, that kind of sporophyte found in pteridophytes. Next, highly developed here also. In angiosperms also, sporophyte is highly developed. In the course of evolution, at beginning sporophyte is reduced. Gradually such sporophyte transitions into developed independent dominant sporophyte. It is a process of evolution. Next, spore nature. Already learned recently. Sporophyte is the meaning for spore producing phase in the life cycle of the plant body, the sporophyte. If only one kind of spores develop from entire plant body or sporophytes, such are called homosporous. Bryophytes are very good example for homosporous. Homosporous. Because all the spores obtained from one sporophyte is the single kind, not differentiable into micro and macrospores. Even in pteridophytes also, sporophyte nature is the homosporous. Homosporous. But very few examples are there in pteridophytes. Such are Selaginella and Salvinia. Example for heterosporous. Except these few members like Selaginella, Salvinia, remaining all pteridophyta members are example for homosporous pteridophytes. The remaining 2 groups, gymnosperms and angiosperms, are example for purely heterosporous nature. If the sporophyte is able to produce two kinds of spores are differentiable into microspores and megaspores, that kind of sporophytes are called heterosporous. You also observe the evolution. Evolution proceeds from homosporous nature to heterosporous. Heterosporous nature, advanced feature. Homosporous nature, primitive feature. It is one of the comparative account of various divisions, or 5 divisions are placed under Plantae. Read this question. Bryophytes are embryophytes, archegoniates, tracheophytes, atracheophytes. Due to the formation of embryo, it is an example for embryophyte. Archegonias are there. First time archegonia formation occurs in bryophytes. Both embryo and archegonias are first time developed in bryophytes. Hence we can say first embryophytes and first archegoniates are bryophytes. There is no vascular tissues in bryophyte. That's why bryophyte is not a tracheophytic member, but tracheophytes. Why the bryophyte members are classified under atracheophytes? Lack of vascular tissues. So what is the correct answer here? 1, 2 and 4. Except third, remaining all are correct. All bryophytes are embryo, archegonios and non-vascular plants, nothing but atracheophytes. Next question. Features related to sphagnum. Sphagnum is an example for bryophyta member. Bryophytes known as, sphagnum, another name of the sphagnum is peat moss. And next option, provide peat used as a fuel. Peat has the capability to hold water. Due to the water holding capacity, the peat moss commonly used as a packing material for the transshipment of biological materials. And peat used to pack the living materials. What is the right answer regarding sphagnum? All are correct. Peat moss is the common name of. Economic importance of that peat moss is fuel due to the flammable nature. It is used as a fuel. And it has great water holding capacity. That's why that used as a packing material for the transshipment of biological material through some e-commerce websites like Amazon and Flipkart. Next question. Pteridophytes are non-embryophytes, embryophytes, archegoniates, tracheophytes. What is the correct answer for this question? Pteridophytes are embryophytes. Embryo formation occurs. That's why it is not correct. Embryo formation occurs. Embryophytes. Archegonias also there, female, multicellular, sex organs or gametangias. Vascular tissues are present, tracheophytes. That's why right answer is the 2, 3, 4. Next question related to the comparative accounts. Seed-bearing tracheophytes are spermatophytic tracheophytes. Another name of seed-bearing plants, spermatophytes. So what are spermatophytic tracheophytes? Seed containing and vascular tissue containing plant groups. Pteridophytes are example for vascular plants but not spermatophytes. Gymnosperms, seed production ability is there and for this vascular tissue. That's why gymnosperms are the correct answer. Angiosperms also able to produce both the seeds and for this vascular tissues. So the right answer is 2 and 3. Why not pteridophytes is considered as spermatophytic tracheophytes? In terms of tracheophyte, it is satisfiable but unable to produce seeds, lack of ovules. If ovules are there after fertilization, such ovules become as the seeds. There is no ovules in pteridophytes. Ovuleless plants among the following pteridophytes. Ovule contained plants among the following both gymno and angiosperms. Next question. Gymnosperms are, observe here, average gymnospheric member is the embryophytic plant because embryo formation occurs in their life cycle. Next, vascular, due to the presence of vascular tissues, these are tracheophytes. Archegonias also there, last archegoniates among the plant kingdom, but it is not a flowering plant according to the Whittaker classification. Seeds are there, such are naked seeds. What is the reason to say the seeds of the gymnosperms are naked? Only one reason is there. For example, it is a megasporophyll. That megasporophyll of gymnosperms are not differentiable into ovary style stigma. Ovules directly bound on the margins of the megasporophyll. Lack of ovary, there is no scope for the formation of fruit. Or the fertilization, every ovule become as a seed. If the ovules are naked, lack of ovary, such ovules are considered as naked ovules, and after fertilization, naked ovules become as naked seeds. Naked means gymno. That's why these members are called as gymno. The term gymno derived from naked condition. So then right answer is all of the above except fourth one. Except fourth one, remaining all are correct. But according to Eichler classification, gymnosperms are also considered as a phanerogams. But according to Whittaker classification, gymnosperm is not an example for phanerogamic member but spermatophytic member. Okay. Next question. What are the xerophytic adaptations are found in leaves of the gymnosperms? Xerophytic, to reduce transpiration or to minimize the loss of water, leaves modified into leaf-like structures. Presence of thick cuticle is also one of the character of gymnosperms to avoid transpiration. Sunken stomata, the stomata confined to lower epidermis and present in deep cavities or of the leaf, such are called sunken stomata. And vernation is circinate venation. Younger leaf shows some coiling. Such kind of nature is called circinate vernation. It is actually fern character, but found in some members of gymnosperms like cycas. What is the right answer here? Except 4, remaining all are found in xerophytic members. To get the answer all, question should be changed into what are the characters are found in cycas? All are possible. All are possible. But the question is, what are the xerophytic adaptations are found in leaves of gymnosperms? Cycas example for gymnosperm. Pinus is also example for gymnosperm. In Pinus, leaves modify into leaflet structures. That's why all these are essential to minimize transpiration. Hence, we can consider such are xerophytic adaptations found in leaves of the gymnosperms. Then the right answer is all except 4. Next, corollary roots of the cycas are associated with. Corollary roots of the cycas are associated with. In cycas plant, roots are some of the branches of the taproot system modified into coral-like roots. So, coral-like roots are called corallite roots. Oid, like, coral-like roots are corallite roots. These are symbiotically associated with 2 types of blue-green algal members of the cyanobacteria, nostoc and anabaena. These are living and biological nitrogen fixing organisms. Fungi not found in roots of the cycas members. Okay, then the right answer is 2 and 3. But another member of the gymnosperm, Pinus. The roots of the Pinus symbiotically associated with fungi, and the roots of the Pinus are called as the mycorrhizal roots. So both the plants, cycas and Pinus, are example for root modifications. The kind of root modification found in Pinus is mycorrhizal. Myco means fungi. Rhiza means roots associated with fungi are called as mycorrhizal. These are roots are also helpful for absorption of phosphorus and water from soil. Okay. Next one, cycas is an example for corallite roots. Corallite roots are specially equipped with symbolic association with nostoc and anabaena. Nostoc and anabaena are example for biological nitrogen fixing organisms. For this question, right answer is 2 and 3. Next question, features related to type of pollination in gymnosperms. Pollination is found in both gymnosperms and angiosperms. Pollination is a characteristic feature of both gymno as well as angiosperms. How can you say pollination is found in both gymno and angio? Why not in pteridode and bryo algae? Pollen production is found in gymno and angio only. Without pollen, there is no scope for pollination. So, pollen produced in gymno and angio are helpful for pollination. Okay. So, pollinating plants are gymnosperms and angiosperms. But the type of pollination of the gymnosperm is different from angiosperm. In angiosperm, ovules born inside of the ovary. It is the ovary style stigma. Ovary is the pollen receptor or pollen accepting area or pollen recepting area. Whereas in gymnosperms, ovules directly born on megasporophyll. There is no ovary here. In this ovule, it is the micropylar region. That micropylar region of the ovule is the pollen receiving portion. PG means pollen grain. Observe here the major variation between gymno to angio. In gymno, ovules born outside of the on surface of the margin of megasporophyll, whereas in angiosperms, ovules born inside of the ovary. If the pollen grains directly contact to micropylar region of the ovule, that's why this kind of pollination is the direct pollination in angiosperms, gymnosperms. Whereas in angio, pollen may not directly contact to ovules because ovules born inside of the ovary. First, pollen land or fall on stigma. By utilizing the stigmatic secretions, pollen germinate to form pollen tube. Only the pollen tube can reach the ovule. that is the indirect pollination. If the question is related to types of pollination occurs in gymno and angio. In gymnosperms, the pollination is direct pollination. How can you say the pollination of the gymnosperm is the direct pollination? Pollen grain directly fall on micropyle of the ovule. Whereas in angio, only pollen tube can reach the micropylar area of the ovule. Reason, ovules naked in gymno, whereas in angio, ovules born inside of the ovary. Next, wind is the pollinating agent in both gymno and angio. This point is applicable for both. Next, anemophily. Another name of the wind pollination is the anemophily. Then the right answer for this question is all of the above. In terms of the angiosperms, it is the indirect pollination. Ovules not naked, but wind pollination is common along with other pollinations like zoophily and hydrophily. 3 types of pollination are possible in angio, whereas in gymnosperms only wind pollination is there. Lack of colorful, attractable flowers in gymnosperms, pollination is only wind. Another technical name of the wind pollination is anemophily. One more question. During fertilization in a gymnospheric member cycles, motile male gametes carried by the pollen tube. Pollen tube is the sperm carrier. Sperm is another name of male gametes. This statement is true. It is the pollen grain surrounded by the two wall layers, exine and intine. During pollination, pollen grain germinate to form a pollen tube. That pollen tube carries 2 sperms and 1 vegetative cell or body cell. Next, so the both siphonogamy and zoidogamy. It is also correct about the cycles only, not about the all gymnospheric members. It is one of the unique feature found in cycles only, not in all gymnospheric members. Because observe here, it is the gametophyte tissue of the gymnosperms, micropylar area. It is the micropyle. Pollen grains directly reaches to this micropylar area through the wind. Archegonia with 2 neck cells. Archegonias. Egg, nothing but a female gamete developed inside of the female gamete angea, nothing but archegonia. Archegonias are opened into this archegonial chamber. During germination of pollen grain, pollen tube formation occurs. That pollen tube reaches to the archegonial chambers. This entire area is the archegonial chamber, and discharge 2 male gametes per pollen into this archegonial chamber. From this micropylar area to the archegonial chamber, tube is essential. Tube means siphon, hence the siphonogamy is there. In all seed producing plants or pollinated plants, siphonogamy is the common. If the pollen tube acts as a sperm carrier, such kind of plants or fertilization, such kind of plants is the siphonogamy. So, for the male gametes are motile due to the presence of flagellas or cilia, that kind of fertilization is the zoidogamy. Especially in cycles only, not in all the gymnosperms. Some cilia are there, several cilia are present around the body of the male gamete of the sperm. With the help of their cilia, it can reach us to archegonias from archegonial chamber. From chamber to the archegonia, zoidogamy is there. From micropylar area to the archegonial chamber, siphonogamous type of fertilization is there. Whereas in remaining all the members of gymnosperms except cycles, only siphonogamy is there. Especially in cycles only, both siphonogamous and zoidogamous type of fertilization, nothing but oogamy occurs. Water is needed, not necessary. Water is not necessary, just tube is essential, no need of water. That's why gymnospheric plants are not depending on water for the fertilization. In entire this plant kingdom, water is essential for fertilization in both bryophytes and pteridophytes. That's why the dispersal or adaptability of the bryophyta, pteridophyta plants are minimized or restricted to water contained localities only or wet localities only. Next, water is not required. This statement is correct. Then what is the right answer for this question? 1 correct, 2 correct, 4 is also correct. Water is not essential for fertilization in gymnosperms and angiosperms, but essential for fertilization in both bryophytes and pteridophytes. Next, angiosperms are embryophytes. because they are able to produce embryo like bryo, ptero, gymno, angio. Except algae, remaining all the members of plant kingdom, embryophytes. Non-archegoniates, there is no archegonia, there is no female gametangias. As in algae, in angiosperms also, there is no archegonias. Then both algae and angiosperms are named as non-archegoniates. Next, vascular tissues are present. Then these are called tracheophytes. But such vascular tissues are very well developed. Hence, we can say angiosperms are advanced vascular plants. What is the difference between advanced vascular plants to the primitive vascular plants? Observe here, vascular tissues are mainly classified into two categories. Vascular tissues are mainly classified into two types. Water conducting tissue is the xylem, food conducting tissue is the phloem. In xylem, two different types of elements are there. One is the trachea, another one is the tracheid. In phloem, sieve, tubes, and the second kind of element is the sieve cells, S for sieve. First tracheophytes are vascular plants like pteridophytes. In pteridophytes, among these two types of xylem elements, only tracheids present, tracheas are absent. Whereas in phloem elements, sieve tubes are absent, but sieve cells are present. Second plant group or second group among the tracheophytes like gymnosperms, also same story, no trachea, only tracheids are there for conduction of water. Among these two elements of the phloem, only sieve cells are there for the transportation of food materials. In case of angiosperms, among these two elements both are there, but main water conducting elements are the trachea. Trachea is the advanced water conducting element than the tracheid. Hence, we can say angiosperms are advanced tracheophytes. Here also phloem, sieve tubes are present, but sieve cells absent. Sieve tube is the advanced or more efficient food conducting elements. Due to the presence of advanced phloem elements and xylem elements, we can conclude angiospheric members are advanced tracheophytes or advanced vascular tissue. It is the reason to say the angiosperms are advanced in terms of vascular tissues. Next, fruit-bearing phanerogams. Already learned why fruit formation is occurs in phanerogams or angiosperms. Presence of ovary simply. It is the basal portion of the carpel. The basal swollen portion is called ovary. After the fertilization, this ovary becomes as the fruits. Why not this kind of fruit formation absent in remaining plant groups? Lack of ovary simple. Without ovary, no scope for the formation of fruit. Then right answer for this question regarding angiosperms, all of the above are correct. Advanced fruit-bearing plants. Non-archegoniates because archegoniates are absent. Archegoniates are absent, and in the presence of embryo, these are called embryophytes. Next question, endosperm and angiosperms. It is also very important. All these 5 groups of the plant kingdom. In last 2 groups, gymno and angio only endosperm formation occurs. Endosperm formation is a character of both gymno and angiosperms. But ploidy of endosperm is different in both the plants. In what aspect both gymno and angiosperms are similar? Production of endosperm. In what aspect both are differ? Ploidy of endosperm. In gymnosperms, the endosperm is haploid. Whereas in angiosperm, endosperm is the triploid, 3N condition is there. Another difference, in gymnosperm, endosperm is formed before fertilization. So another name of the gametophyte in gymnosperm is called as endosperm. Gametophyte is always haploid. That's why endosperm, gymnosperm is also haploid. Whereas in angiosperms, endosperm is the post-fertilized product. It means endosperm is formed after fertilization. Especially it is formed as a result of triple fusion. In triple fusion, one haploid sperm fused with diploid central cell give rise to triploid endosperm. Presence of triploid endosperm or formation of triploid endosperm is one of the unique feature are characteristic feature of angiospheric plants. So, first option is the right, diploid, formed from pen, it is also correct. Pen, full form of the pen is the primary endosome nucleus in diploid condition. Next is the product of the trifle fusion, correct. It is the forced fertilization, means endosome formation occurs after the fertilization. Okay, all are correct. Then the right answer is fourth option. When this is the question is changed into endosome of the gymnosome, then the suitable answer is in endosome, in gymnosomes, endosome is the first option, haploid. Second one, another name of the female gametophyte, female gametophyte. Third option, it is formed before fertilization, then hence it is named as a pre-fertilized product, pre-fertilized product. These three are correct about the endosome found in gymnospheric plants. Okay, but about these are three variations between endosome found in gymnoangio. One is the haploid gymnosome, diploid, ploidy. Second one, in gymnosomes, endosome is formed before fertilization, whereas here after fertilization. Next question about the life cycles. Haplontic life cycle is characterized by zygotic meiosis. True. How can you say zygotic meiosis occurs in haploidic life cycle contain organisms? Haploid life cycle is a characteristic feature of most of the algal members. In life cycle of the algae, highly reduced sporophyte is there, but plant body is a haploid gametophyte. Haploid gametophyte. Main idea of gametophyte is production of gametes. Two types of gametes are found from gametophyte. One is the male gamete, another is the female gamete. Gametic fusion, nothing but a fertilization. Then the result is the diploid zygote. Without formation of embryo, the diploid zygote undergo meiosis. Then this kind of reduction divisions or meiosis is called as zygotic meiosis. Zygotic meiosis is also one of the reasons to say the embryo formation absent in algae. With one better or the best assertion reason question is there regarding this question, the algae. In algae, the diploid structure minimized to only one cell zygote. Highly reduced diploid sporophyte is there. What is the reason for this kind of assertion? What is the correct reason? The zygote is formed after fertilization, undergo meiotic cell division. Thus, without forming embryo, immediately gametophytic stage will start in life cycle of the algal members. Okay. What is the reason for absence of the embryo in algae? Very simple. Meiotic cell division occurs in zygote. If the zygote undergo repeated number of mitoid divisions, then the unicellular diploid cell give rise to multicellular embryo. Next is the free living photosynthetic gametophyte. True. Gametophyte is the well-developed, independent, dominant. Free living sporophyte, no. Reduced sporophyte and dependent sporophyte is there. Gametophyte is not dependent, independent. That's why it is also false. Then what is the right answer for this question? 1 and 2 only. Meiosis is the zygotic, zygote is the meiocyte. Second one, gametophyte is the very well developed. Next question. Life cycle having the dominant gametophytic generations and dependent sporophytic generations is found in. Life cycle with gametophyte is the dominant and sporophyte is the dependent. This kind of life cycles are generally called as haplontic life cycles and haplodiplontic life cycles found in bryophyta members. Mark as an example for bryophytes. In all bryophytes, gametophyte is the dominant, sporophyte is the dependent or highly reduced. Sphagnum is also bryophyte. Laminaria is the algal member. Cycas is an example for gymnosomes. In cycas or all gymnosomes, life cycle is a diplontic life cycle. That's why it is not a correct answer for this question. In cycas or diplontic life cycle containing plant, sporophyte is the independent, gametophyte is the dependent. So, except for remaining all are correct for this question. Laminaria, algae. In this algae, peculiar kind of life cycle is there. It is also not an example for, not pure an example for haplontic. Only 1 and 2 are correct. Next question. What kind of photosynthetic pigments are found in rhodophyceae? Here also an important area is there to discuss. When compared to remaining all the members of the plant kingdom, algae can exhibit the greatest diversity in type of photosynthetic pigments. Almost all types of photosynthetic pigments are found in members of algae when compared to the brio, ptedo, gymno and angiosomes. Based on this type of pigments, algae classified into 3 classes, such are green algae, chlorophyceae, brown algae, phaeophyceae, red algae, rhodophyceae. Among these 3 members, one pigment chlorophyll A is the common. Pigment chlorophyll A is the common in both phaeophyceae members, chlorophyceae members and rhodophyceae members. It is the commonest pigment. Especially in algae, along with the chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B is there. In phaeophyceae, chlorophyll A and C is present. In red algae, rhodophyceae, chlorophyll A and D are there. Whereas in higher plants from bryophyte onwards, both the chlorophyll A and B are present. So, among these 3 types of algal members, green algae resembles higher plants due to the presence of both the chlorophyll A and B. Wherever the chlorophyll pigments are there, automatically carotene pigments and xanthophyll pigments must be present. So, chlorophyll A is found in rhodophyceae, the universal pigment, found in all photosynthetic organisms except the photosynthetic bacteria. Chlorophyll B is the character of green algae, not the red algae. Next, fucoxanthin is found in brown algae, phaeophyceae, not in red algae. This is the pigment causes for brown coloration of the brown algae. Next, phycoerythrin, erythro, it clearly explains red coloration of the red algae caused by phycoerythrin. And a special chlorophyll pigment exclusively found in red algae, chlorophyll D. Then the right answer for this question is 1, 4, 5. Why not B and 2 and 3? Chlorophyll B is the character of all higher plants and green algae like chlorophyceae. Fucoxanthin is the exclusive pigment found in brown algae, not in red algae. Identify the true statements or correct statements from the following. Green algae contain rigid cell wall made up of outer layer of cellulose and inner layer of the pectin. Identify this. The statement is the true or false? False statement. How can I say the false? Inner layer is the cellulosic, outer layer is the pectinous. But whereas here given as inner one is the pectin, outermost layer is cellulose. Quite opposite here. In algal cells, especially green algae, outermost layer of the cell wall is the pectin. Next, immediate inner layer is the cellulosic. It is the cellulosic layer, it is the pectinous layer. That's why first statement is wrong. Next one, in dead algae, male gamete is the motile and known as the spermaceum. Wrong. Both gametes and sperms and spores of the rhodophyceae members are dead algae, non-motile, non-flagellated, non-ciliated. There is no locomotory organs in both the spores and gametes of all dead algae. Next statement, Gracilaria and Gelidium are agar-producing members belongs to the rhodophyceae. Agar is economically more beneficial inert polysaccharide obtained from red algal members like Gracilaria, Gelidium. True statement. Statement number 4. Giant marine algae belongs to brown algae, phaeophyceae, are also called as the kelps. These kelps are differentiable into basal foot, middle seta or stipe, and a larger photosynthetic portion is there that is called frond. The body of the kelp usually differentiable into basal foot, middle stalk-like structure is the seta, and larger photosynthetic portion is called as the frond. Presence of the kelp-like thallus-like plant body is a characteristic feature of most of the red algal members. Then what is the right answer for this question? Except first 2, remaining 2 are correct. 3 and 4 correct. Identify the correct statements from the following. Hornworts belongs to Anthoceratopsida. Actually, this is the not given in your inserted textbook. Better to learn. Anthoceratopsida, another name is hornworts. According to our NCERT syllabus, only two groups are given under bryophytes, such are hepatic apsida, means liverworts, and moss is bryopsida members. Third group, Anthoceratopsida, not included in our syllabus. Bryophytes plays important role in plant succession. Both lichens and bryophytes are the pioneers in geological or xerological succession, able to grow on rock surface area. Without a thick layer of the earth crust, they are able to survive. Next, all bryophytes are homosporous. Statement is that true? All bryophytes are homosporous. Almost all pteridophytes are also homosporous except Selaginella and Salvinia. All gymnosperms and angiosperms are example for heterosporous. So, evolution proceeds from homosporous sporophytes to heterosporous sporophytes. Next, juvenile stage of the mosses is called protonema in some kind of bryophytes only. Here mentioned clearly, mosses are given clearly. These are some kind of bryophyte members. In these bryophyte members, in life cycle, two phases are there. Diploid sporophyte, haploid gametophyte. This haploid gametophyte further divided into two subphases. One is the juvenile subphase, another one is the adult one. The name of juvenile subphase of the gametophyte in mosses is the protonema. Proto, first formed, nema, filamentous structures. In this life cycle, early formed structure, that's why it is the proto, means first formed. Nema, a filament-like structure, that is the protonema. Then what is the right answer for this question? All are correct regarding bryophytic plants. Next, two kinds of spores are not produced in the following plants. Production of two kinds of spores is the characteristic feature of heterosporous plants. Heterosporous sporophytic plants. Heterosporous kind of sporophytes are found in all gymnosperms and angiosperms. All gymno and angio. Some of the very few kind of pteridophytes like Selaginella and Salvinia. Sphagnum bryophyta, that's why it is not an example for heterosporous. Sphagnum is an example for homosporous. Next, Selaginella pteridophyta, even though heterosporous nature is present. Cycas gymnosperm, that's why heterosporous. Anthoceras bryophyta, it is a homosporous, not heterosporous. Oryza, rice scientific name, rice angiosperm, heterosporous. Then right answer 2, 3 and 5. Okay, not produced given here. Then right answer for this question, sphagnum and Anthoceras. So for this question, not is there, then the right answer is Selaginella, Cycas and rice. Due to the presence of not, we can consider it is the homosporous. Unique features found in angiospermic group. Unique features found in angiosperms. These characters are found in angiosperms only, not in other plant groups in the plant kingdom. Seed habit, not only character of angio, is also found in gymno. Gymno and angio are example for sprout seed producing. That's why it is not a right answer. Dicot embryo. Dicot embryo, monocot embryos are found in angiosperms. In gymnosperms, most of the gymnosperms embrace dicot. It is not a special feature or characteristic feature. Triple fusion in double fertilization is the character of angio only. That's why third one is also correct. Presence of endosperm in a seed is the character of both gymno and angio. But haploid endosperm is found in gymnosperm, triploid endosperm is found in angiosperm. But here that a ploidy of the endosperm is not mentioned clearly. That's why this is the option is not an unique feature of angiosperms. Fruit formation found in angio only, not in gymnosperms. How can you say fruit formation is not at all possible in gymnospermic members? Lack of ovary. Ovary is absent in gymnospermic members. That's why the right answer is the right answer for this question is 3 and 5. Triple fusion or double fertilization and fruit formation are the characteristic features of angiosperms or unique feature of angiosperms. Next, tracheophytes among the following. What is the meaning for the tracheophyta? Vascular plants. Lycopodium, pteridophyta member. All pteridophytes are vascular plants. Pteris, fawns, also member of the pteridophytes. Next, Anthoceras, bryophytes, non-vascular plants. Polysiphonia, algae, especially red algae, that is also non-vascular plants. Then the right answer is 1 and 2. Trichophytic members. Zooidogamous type of oogamy is found in. Oogamy means fusion of smaller male gamete with large stationary female gamete. Female gamete is the large stationary non-motile. Male gamete is the smaller. Such male gametes are either motile or non-motile. If male gamete is the motile due to the presence of either flagella or cilia, that kind of oogamy is called zooidogamous type of oogamy. In all bryophytic members, the gametic fusion is oogamy is there. Based on type of or nature of the gametes, sexual reproduction in plant kingdom is 3 types: isogamy, anisogamy, oogamy. 3 types of gametic fusions, iso, aniso, oogamy, are found in different members of the algae only. From bryophyte onwards, all the remaining members, bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymna and angio, oogamy is there. In this oogamy, especially zooidogamous type of oogamy found in both bryo and pterido only, because male gamete is motile and water essential for the fertilization. In the presence of water only, male gamete can reach the female gamete. So due to the motile nature of the male gamete, this kind of oogamy or fertilization is called as zooidogamy. In gymnosperms, siphonogamy is there. Angiosperms also siphonogamy is there, because the pollen tube act as a sperm carrier. Due to the presence of pollen tube, the type of fertilization in both gymno and angio is called as siphonogamy. But in one gymnospheric member, cycas is an example for both zooidogamy and siphonogamous type of fertilization. Then right answer for this question is 1 and 2. One more question we can construct here, that is water is essential for fertilization in following members. Water essential for fertilization, bryo, pterido. It is assertion. What is the correct reason for this kind of question? Water is needed or necessary for the transportation of motile male gametes from antheridia to the egg present in archegonia. Heterosporous pteridophytes are, almost all pteridophytes are homosporous except to few members. In very few members only heterosporous nature is there, such are Selaginella and Salvinia. Except these 2 members, remaining almost all members of pteridophytes are homosporous. These 2 are heterosporous. Then the right answer for this question is 3 and 4. Okay students, remaining portion of the plant kingdom and diagrammatic presentations I will explain in next session. Bye now.